Hey everybody, so it's Saturday and I'm actually doing my post on my assigned day score for me. So this week's video is supposed to be a life summary. So I guess that's just supposed to be information about me, which I never know what interesting things to include in this whole talking about yourself thing. So I guess I will just follow the list that was given to me. Let's see. I am 27 years old. I have 2 degrees. I have a Bachelor's of Arts in Women's Studies, and I have a Bachelor's of Science in Anthropology. Let me turn this fan off. I'm sorry. It's kind of whirring too loud in the back for me. I went to Chatham College, which is now Chatham University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a women's college, and I was a transfer student in there, and it was a good location for me. I learned a lot about myself. I had a lot of really good friends, and a degree in women's studies is probably what got me so motivated in figuring out my PCOS, because I was taking women's health, and I had a lot of great female professors who were very knowledgeable about what PCOS was and kind of what was being done for it at the time, and they're the ones who really jump-started me like sorting through what my symptoms were and doing something about it. For my anthropology degree, I went to Virginia Commonwealth University, which is in Richmond, Virginia. I decided that I had a too narrow view about how the world at large worked, only being concerned with women's issues, and I needed to know how women tied in with everything else, so I went back and got an overall perspective with anthropology. I do not have any kids, obviously. I did have a puppy. His name was Butler. He was a lab, I believe, pit bull mix. He was very temperamental and very stocky. He was definitely my dog. I felt like he and I were very connected, but he passed away a couple of years ago. He got hit by a car. It was very detrimental to me, so I have not yet decided to get another pet at this moment, because frankly that loss is still too significant. I cried for days. Family. I have obviously parents. My parents are on the young side of life. My mom is turning 47 and my dad's turning 45. I always get their ages wrong. Anything over 40, they just don't want to talk about it. So there's that. And I have a younger sister who is 24. We are very tight. We're about 3 years and 6 days apart. We're both, well, I'm an Aquarius baby, she's a Pisces baby, but she's on the cusp, so we have our own strange little quirks, and we're very, very overprotective of each other. She has her own set of disease that she has to deal with. She has Graves' disease, which is also an endocrine disorder and messes with her thyroid and energy levels, and so we kind of understand that realm of what both of us have, so we are sisters for suffering. She is in Richmond. She works as well. Actually, she just got a new job, so we don't see each other as often as we would like, even though it's only an hour drive, but she's busy, I'm busy, we have very busy lives, and so we do talk on a regular basis. I have a boyfriend. His name is Adrian. He is actually going to be moving into my new apartment in about 6 more weeks. He's going to be working in DC with this really awesome program called City Year. They have locations in 27 different cities, and basically it's all about getting back to the community and helping with tutoring and mentoring younger kids, which he's going to be awesome at because he's been mentoring and tutoring, I think, for most of his college age life. I actually just moved into our apartment about 2 months ago. It's still in the process of getting, I guess, put together. I'm a little bit slow on the whole hanging things on the wall and stuff, but hey, I made progress because there are things hanging on this wall. And I hung up some things in the kitchen, and I'm still working on the getting curtain thing. So that's kind of been taking over my life and my money. As of right now, I work as a court supervisor for a nonprofit which deals with domestic violence and sexual assault issues for a county in Virginia, and it's a full-time job. It's very stressful. I see people all day long who are in abusive relationships, so it tends to take its toll on me, and I get very burnt out very quickly doing this kind of work, so I know that this is not my lifelong passion or dream. I'm actually currently trying to decide on going back to grad school, whether it's going to be for forensic anthropology, which is what my second degree is in. So I'm obsessed with bones. I'm obsessed with illnesses and disease that affect the bones. I'm obsessed with murders and serial killers and anything where there's been traumatic injuries. And I know that's totally weird and probably very creepy, but that's my first love. And always kind of has been since I was about 16. I've been obsessed with anything forensic related, and murder investigations. I read murder investigations for fun. I like to collect weird things. I, have skeletons and stuff everywhere. I'm also a tattoo person. I have a trowel, which I got after I completed my first field school a couple years ago, and that's also where I met my boyfriend. He was another student at field school. And let's see, what else? I'm a big book nerd. I love reading ethnographies. I like reading memoirs. I'm very much into science books. I own so many textbooks and anatomy books, and it's just ridiculous. And I have a bookshelf that's just overflowing. I feel really bad for my boyfriend when he moves in because there's like no space with the amount of things that I've accumulated. But let's see, what else? I guess I should talk about my boyfriend in conjunction to PCOS. He kind of found out relatively quick that I had it because I had no choice. He showed up, surprising me 3 months into our relationship. We're long distance, so when you have PCOS, it's really great because you have a guy who never sees your symptoms. Well, then he surprised me, showed up. I had to explain a whole bunch of things like my weird diet and all the other side effects that go with PCOS, and he could have cared less. He just, accepts it as is, super supportive. Maybe I was really surprised because we have such a significant age difference. I'm 27. He is just turned 22 back in March, and when we obviously started dating, he was like 20, not even, getting ready to be 20, I think. And just that's not at all the reaction I was expecting from a 20-year-old guy, to be so supportive and so just there all the time and wanting to know information and what he could do to help me and how he could decrease my stress and what kind of eating we need to do. Like, he really just took it and ran with it, and I'm so grateful that he is moving here and he is moving so far away from his family. Yes, it's for a job, but he also, I don't think, would have looked here necessarily if it hadn't been for me living here. So I'm very excited for him to get here. I think it's going to do a lot to balance out my day-to-day thing. Like Kelsey, I also love dinosaurs. I don't have quite the obsession of hanging them all over my room that she does, but my cousin, who I'm very close with, and she's the cutest thing ever, totally obsessed with dinosaurs, and she would be thrilled to hang a pterodactyl from her ceiling, so thanks for that idea. We don't get to see each other that often, but she's actually coming to spend the summer up here with my grandparents and my parents, and me and her are going to do a camp out day, and I'm taking her to the Natural History Museum in DC, and I'm going to show her all the dinosaur stuff, and then I'm going to show her all the skeleton stuff, because I really want to get her into forensic anthro dinosaurs and sort of thing, but I'd like to bring her over to my side too. And she seems to think that I deal with dinosaurs because I dig in dirt, and that's the only thing she can remember. So that's kind of how I get my kid fix when I myself may not be able to have a kid. I play and get along with other people's children fabulously. I kind of was in the dark place for the last couple of weeks because some of my symptoms have been really prevalent, and it's been kind of like a hard couple of weeks, and I gained a couple of pounds, which I know, like, for the normal person that doesn't matter, but for us it does because we weigh everything by what our bodies are doing. So I'm hitting the gym hard this weekend, and it's also Women's College World Series weekend. I'm also a softball player, die hard since I was 6, and this is my favorite weekend in sports, besides watching the basketball finals, which I really only watch because my boyfriend does, and I know he's going to talk to me about it, so I'd at least like to know what he's ranting about when he's doing it. Those are the sacrifices you make. And I guess the last thing I should say is I identify as queer, so I have dated women and I date men. I tend to date people based on who they are as a person and not their gender. I don't think that it's necessarily something that sets me super apart from anybody else, because I think there's a lot of people who are in our collaboration that probably identify this way, and a lot of people who follow us that do. It's definitely important to me. I'm very involved in human rights issues. I'm very involved in LGBTQ issues. I am currently working in my job trying to expand our services for LGBTQ individuals who come to us, and I'm trying to work out with the community other ways that we can get assistance. It is such a huge part of my life because I did go to a women's college. So many of my friends identify as LGBTQ. I don't know. It's been that way since I was 15 years old. It's a very important part to me. I'm very out at this point, and I think that I've been coming across more and more people who identify as LGBTQ who have PCOS or have, something in the ballpark of what we have. And I think that they are, that we're very unaware as a group that is even something that is very prevalent within that community. And really just public health is so important to me, and I'm really getting into this whole preventative medicine, and I'm trying to find what my passion is. And right now it's leaning more towards medicine and med school, and I don't know if, gynecology or something is going to be my primary interest, but I definitely think that it's something that I will forever be paying attention to because of this. And that's really all I have to say at this moment. I wish Adrian was here so you guys can meet him. He's not really aware that I do this whole thing. I've mentioned it briefly, but obviously once he moves in, he's going to see me making my videos all the time. So guess I'm going to have to tell him about that. And I guess that's it. I hope you all are having a really great weekend. The weather is kind of hot and humid here. I'm trying to go out and get some sun because we need it. And like I said, I hope everybody's doing great. And if you have any questions or there's something else you want to know about me, please feel free to drop a line. Thanks.